Ladies and gentlemen, James Comer, the House Oversight Chairman, is no longer looking into the Mar-a-Lago documents, which Trump had every right to own. Okay, if he didn't have a right to own them and he committed a crime, indict him, but they won't. So it's one or the other. It's basic logic. Okay, if Trump committed a crime, and you know that the entire American political establishment and probably half the country or half the world want him in jail and in prison because he does speak the truth. Even Dave Chappelle talked about it. He speaks the truth. Okay? But if he committed a crime, then indict him. If he didn't commit a crime, it's partisan. Like, Hunter committed crimes, we know, and so did Hillary. James Comey stated that Hillary committed crimes. In his own words, the Honorable James Comey. Okay, then he said, well, no reasonable prosecutor would indict. And that's the short on this channel, 26,000 views. So hit subscribe right now. Huge, huge, huge news. Likely next House Oversight Chair says Mar-a-Lago document investigation won't be a priority. This is the Hill. The good thing about having James Comer as chairman of the House Oversight Committee is that you're not going to investigate Trump taking documents when he was president, declassified, and legally. He could legally own those documents. If he declassified them, he can legally own them. The problem with Democrats and with prosecutors is that they have no clue if he declassified, or they can't prove he didn't declassify. That's why he hasn't been indicted yet. Okay, and he won't be indicted for this issue because the precedent was already set. Clinton transferred top secret intel outside of the United States government. You can look on servers, which is like a cyber nightmare. You can look at the articles in the comments section and description of every one of my segments. The Supreme Court has ruled that the president, as commander-in-chief, can declassify documents, and he can actually decide what is and what isn't top secret. Okay? There's one issue with the Department of Energy would have to declassify anything nuclear armament related. But other than that, okay, when he took those boxes from the Oval Office to the White House, it was legal. So they're trying to basically accuse him of what Democrats have done. Bill Clinton had classified data next to his underwear in a sock drawer. But hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to support my work, my Patreon is below. If you want to give a super thanks, the super thanks is below next to the like and the share button. The House Oversight Committee is now essentially blocking an investigation by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The Federal Bureau of Investigation has all the boxes. They have everything they need. They have everything they need to indict or charge Trump. Okay, I'm going to say this slowly. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Department of Justice, the special counsel is only going to try to torment Trump. It's not even going to really work. He's not going to abide by anything. Okay, and then the House is going to defund the special counsel. But the investigations into Trump are politically motivated. They don't have an actual crime. Okay, it's not a crime for a former president to bring home documents. President Obama, Clinton, and Bush all did something either worse or similar. Okay, we'll say President Obama didn't. President Obama knew his Secretary of State had servers transferring and siphoning classified data, top secret intel, SAP intel outside of the United States government. And we have that within Clinton's own campaign emails. Cheryl Mills says that, and I wrote about that in the Daily Caller. Cheryl Mills stated the president knows that Hillary has private emails. And Clinton was transferring how she was, nobody knows, top secret and special access program intelligence outside of the United States government. And Comey said, well, no reasonable prosecutor would indict. But now you're not going to get Congress to help or to look into this because it's a non-issue. Okay? If a person thinks it is an issue, then they can go ahead and indict Trump. He'll win in a court of law because the precedent shows that a president can declassify. If Trump says he declassified, they have to prove he didn't, not the other way around. As president, he's not going to have to prove that he can declassify verbally as well. So there's no way to prove that he didn't. the issue is that classified data, President Obama's administration made a complete mockery of it. And now they're saying, oh, they care so much about it. It's like, no, you can't have it that way. You can't have it both ways. You can't get away with a server siphoning classified data outside the U.S. government and then go after a president for documents you already have. You already have those documents. So the issue now is you are accusing Trump, and it started in the House. You're accusing Trump because Democrats in the House asked the Justice Department and also the Federal Bureau of Investigation, according to numerous reports, that, well, look into this because it's not right. And Trump has all of these documents at Mar-a-Lago. And it's like, well, the National Archives has facilities for President Obama, and I believe Bush as well, outside of D.C. Oh, but it's run by the National Archives. It's so much safer than Mar-a-Lago. Okay, well, that could be the case. But at the same time, they claim, well, they only have declassified information. Trump claims that also. 30 million declassified documents President Obama has. That's really bizarre, too. Who read the 30 million documents? There's so many questions that, like, when President Obama says, well, we have 30 million unclassified, this is after he had Secretary of State with top secret intel siphoned outside the United States government on servers. Okay, that even James Comey said, yeah, you know what, other countries could have hacked into it, but we don't know, really. We wouldn't get a thank you note. So it's like there's completely haphazard and, like, sloppy with when they investigate their own. But with Trump, it's like, well, he did something bad. But they have all the information. They have his tax returns. They couldn't indict him on a criminal charge. They have the documents in Mar-a-Lago. They can't indict him. Why can't they indict him? If you're a morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrat, we know why they didn't indict Hunter yet, because he's Biden's son. We know why Hillary wasn't indicted. James Comey says that on the short on this channel. It's in his words. Although there are violations of the potential... Although there are potential violations of the legal statutes pertaining to the handling of classified data, no reasonable prosecutor would indict. Yeah, there are potential violations. There are no potential violations here. If there was, they'd find an unreasonable prosecutor and they would have indicted Trump. So when Democrats say, well, how come you can't prove this? It's like, well, you would need an investigation. Okay, after investigating Trump, why haven't you proved? So... that's actually good right there. But anyway, that's a great statement for a number of reasons. But anyway, why didn't they indict Donald Trump? The great thing now is that Congress will not be a part of it. That's why they say, well, we need a special counsel because the Republicans won't look into it. Democrats already had a whole 4 years to look into it. Oh, actually 2 years. The National Archives, the Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. They already have the boxes from. There was the Mar-a-Lago raid. And that, too, boosted support for Democrats. Okay. That was before that raid, Republicans overwhelmingly were going to take the Senate and the House within polls. And then it was the House, but then the Senate became Democrat within the polls. Okay. So they use government against their direct political rivals all the time. All the time. And then they complain when they actually have Hunter with emails showing clear graft schemes, like felonies. They actually commit felonies, and then they go after Trump for, like, everything in the known universe. Then they say he's a criminal. He's treasonous. Like, no. Anything, like, it is not... That word they use is a Lincoln Project. The Lincoln Project warped the minds of Democrats, because they don't usually speak that way. Democrats would never use the word patriot or treasonous or all that stuff. That's a Lincoln Project thing. But it actually weakens them emotionally and spiritually and mentally, because when you start talking like that, the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld Republicans, when you start talking in that manner, and you realize, oh, okay, so he didn't work with the Kremlin. That was a hoax. Oh, okay, he didn't commit a crime with Stormy, which they want to, by the way, investigate again, which is hilarious. He didn't commit a crime at Mar-a-Lago. He didn't commit a crime with his tax returns. He didn't commit a crime. Then it's like, oh, okay, you've redefined democracy as what's good for your political party. They didn't indict Trump because he didn't commit a crime. They didn't indict Hunter or Hillary because they actually did commit crimes, but they're Democrats. So Hunter is just like, that'll happen eventually, the indictment. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now.